All right, back to politics. Continued tension between the Obama administration and Israel after abstaining at a UN Security Council vote which said that Israeli settlements were illegal. Secretary Kerry then laid out the Obama administration's vision for the Middle East in a speech earlier this week. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said the speech was biased against Israel. Joining us now is Zuhdi Jasser, longtime friend of the show, American Islamic Forum for Democracy. Zuhdi, thank you for joining us. I mean, bottom line here, are we abandoning one of our few allies in that part of the world?
It wasn't just a speech, actually. It's been the entire administration's mantra, which is to do the bidding for the Islamist movements, the Islamic talking points, if you will, from Iran to the Muslim Brotherhood of Egypt, to the Wahhabis of Saudi Arabia. Basically, that has been the focus, is that, no, forget the fact that Israel is a secular democracy, our only ally in the Middle East. No, we will use the talking points of the Islamic Republic of Iran. We won't hold Muslims accountable to their tyrannies, to their theocracies. No, we'll lecture a secular democracy that needs to have an identity as a Jewish state because of the tyrannies of the Holocaust after World War II. No, we will punish 18 million Jews in the entire planet rather than the 1.6 billion Muslims that need to get their act together and reform our own house within the house of Islam. No, they ignore that, and instead the people whispering into the ear of Obama and Kerry are the Islamist movements on the planet.
Well, and also, you know, Secretary Kerry making the statement that you can't be both Jewish and democratic, a strange statement. What was your thought on that?
Complete ignorance. I mean, first of all, they have 1 million Muslims in Israel who have Sharia courts, have more independence and freedom than any Arab country around them, number one. Number two, they're ignoring the tyrannies and theocracies that need reform around them. I mean, they won't even talk about Islam, whether it's compatible with democracy, and yet we put our ally, our only ally of democracy in the Middle East, on notice at a long, stem-winding speech in a passive-aggressive fashion before they leave. I mean, this pathology of obsession, of linkage of the Palestinian community and their lack of ability to reform against Hamas, with that solution being an anti-Israel position of America, is just pathological and will be the legacy of the Obama administration.
Indeed. Well, Zuhdi, I want to get to this before we have to say goodbye. Listen, I know you've been a target of repeated attacks by, well, frankly, internet trolls, other Muslims who call you a Zionist and anti-Palestinian. Why are they so angry at you, and how do you respond to that?
Well, they're angry because they want to collectivize the great hijacking of the 20th and 21st centuries, the Palestinian Hamas movement, the Brotherhood movement, to take that issue and make it a Muslim collectivist issue. And us reformers are targeted because we are their greatest threat. We are the ones that are about tough love, about saying it's a localized issue, it's not an Islamic issue, that the Hamas charter needs reform. But no, when I speak out, I even got targeted in my own mosque. It wasn't just the trolls online, on Twitter, social media. My own mosque imam in 2014 said there's a doctor locally who speaks out against the Palestinians just because I said on Fox News that Hamas needs to be held accountable for their aggression. So they make examples of us, and when people say we're the voices of moderate Islam, we are pushed and marginalized and threatened. And that's where you say, why are Muslims more fearful not to speak up against the hijacking of our community?
Yeah, moderate being a dirty word, apparently. Zuhdi Jasser, as always, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Ashley.
And